So who actually broke you into the business?
After I had kind of I ran everything out. Like I played football, went into the Marine Corps. It just seems like I ran everything out, like all my options. I didn't want to be in the Marine Corps anymore. You know, I mean, that didn't work out so well for me because I ended up going after a drill instructor. And I got an honorable discharge, but it was a mess. So I kind of just ran that out. So it was just really just sitting in limbo with nothing to do. And my father said, "Hey, why don't you try to do pro wrestling?" I was like, okay. You know, just kind of like, okay, yeah, it's something to do. So I went to Buzz Sawyer for a while, went down to Sacramento, and really, I should have known a little bit sooner, but it took me about 6 months to really understand that I wasn't going to go anywhere there. He would, after I had signed up, paid my money, we didn't have a ring or a gym to practice in. We'd go down to a fitness center and we'd use a racquetball court, so they'd lay mats down. And he would bring guys in, do tryouts once a month, and guys would come from all over. And most of them were like bodybuilders and, you know, ex-football players, just big guys. And he would have me, he'd come, he'd say, "Listen, we're gonna do tryouts and I want you to beat them up, don't let them pass." Okay, I mean, I didn't know where we were going with it, but okay. So I would go in and I would thump all these big dudes that come in, I'd wear them out, they'd throw up, they'd quit, and they'd walk away, and you know, Buzz kept the $600 or $1,200, I don't even know what the exact number was, that he charged me, and he kicked me $200 to $300. And I was driving up from Reno to do the tryouts every weekend. And so about 6 months into it, I said, you know, this is not working. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, I'm not learning anything, I'm just beating guys up. And so my father then started searching for some places on the East Coast because it was the hotbed. And so he found Nelson Royal and Gene Anderson had an organization going up there. And so I did a tryout. And after the whole day I tried out, it was a 4-hour tryout. And then he put me in the ring with some shooter. Some kid that was a wrestler. The guy was probably about 6'1", went about 230, 240 pounds. And what they didn't realize is that's what I was. So he put this guy on me, and after I did all that tryout, I beat the hell out of this guy. And then Nelson goes, okay, well, I went through his wrestling program. 3 months into our training, I was in the ring wrestling with Nelson. I put him over for the belt. Well, 3 months after that, he put me over, and I was carrying the strap for our organization. 6 months after I had just stepped in there and started doing it. During that time, and I think that's why Nelson put the strap on me, was during that time there was 2, I'd done 3, one of them in Reading before I came up. It was a tough man. It was during football, and I knocked everybody out, won the tough man. Well, then they had one in Hickory and one in Statesville, Carolina. And it was during the time I was doing pro wrestling. And they were paying like $5,000 for the winner. So I went to both of them at both places, and they still have the videotapes, so any of this could be proved, is I won both tough mans. One of them was 2 days, it was kickboxing, and another one was just boxing. And I was at a 2-day tournament in the one in Statesville, and just a one-night tournament where I fought 4 times in one night, and won the whole thing. And Nelson went to one of them and watched me fight in the finals and win it. And so after that, he thought it'd be a really good thing for our organization to actually have somebody that was a real deal shooter that was carrying the strap.